Way at my friends, welcome to the continuation of our NFL team previews on this Thursday. Today we're talking about the New England Patriots. This is our team previews brought to you by bet.nola.com, powered by the Datitude Podcast. I am Jim Derry, and when you talk about the Patriots, you have to wonder, are they going to progress? Are they going to regress? Bill Belichick, still Bill Belichick. Mac Jones did a great job in his first year as quarterback of the Patriots. Last year, 10-7 record, second in the AFC East to the Buffalo Bills, and then they got demolished in the playoffs by the Bills, 47-17 in the wild card round. This year, they're going into 2022. Their bye week is 10. That's pretty good. Right in the middle of the season, maybe starting off the back half of the season, week 10. Who needs protection? Mac Jones needs protection. One of the things the Patriots, the staple of the Patriots is this. It's their defense and their offensive line. Now, we know throughout the years when they were great, they had Tom Brady. So to have great offensive line and great defensive play and maybe arguably, you can say whatever you want, arguably the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, there's a reason why they won all those Super Bowls, right? Is Mac Jones following in that mold? Will he be able to take the next step this year? Might be a little too early, but there are definitely some things to love about this Patriots team. They also draft right guard Cole Strange in the first round of the draft. He is going to be an impact for them. We talk about their offensive line. We talk about how Bill Belichick loves to have those big boys up front to protect his quarterback, and they're usually pretty good at that. Then you talk about an impact wide receiver Devante Parker they bring over from the Miami Dolphins. And look, the Patriots, they've won with no-name receivers throughout time, right? Now, it was nice when they had guys like Randy Moss and such, but they can win with no-name receivers. Bringing in Devante Parker is going to be a major impact and a big help for Mac Jones right away. But, when you talk about some of the losses they lose, their center, guard, Ted Karras, who's moving on, guard Shaq Mason, then you lose defensive back J.C. Jackson. All key losses for this team. Pluses and minuses, maybe right in the middle, right? So when you break down the Patriots, they're very similar to they were last year. They're still going to be tough-nosed on defense, and to me it comes down whether Mac Jones can take that next step. They have a great running game with Ramondre Stevenson, and Damian Harris when he had some issues with his health towards the end of last year, but I tell you what, when he was on, there were games, if you want to looking for a fantasy running back, Damian Harris he's not going to be a sleeper. He's going to be a high-round draft pick, but I tell you what, he can do even better than is proposed. There's games when he scores 2-3 touchdowns in a game and kind of takes things over. That's going to be the kind of Patriots team you're going to be looking for because both Stevenson and Harris are going to be key on this team. You also talk about in the defensive backfield, we talk about why their defense is so good. It's not just because they're so big up front. It's because they can stop the run, and they usually have a good backfield, and it's no different this year. They're led by Jalen Mills, and he's a stud in the backfield. The Patriots are going to be among one of the top 5, 6, 7, 8 teams once again on defense. They're going to be really tough to score on. That's going to be key when you're in a division like you're in against the likes of the Buffalo Bills. And even you could talk about Miami now with the fact that they have Tua is going to take a step forward, and you also have, obviously, Tyreek Hill. So the Dolphins are going to be a tough team to stop. When you talk about teams, and I've said this in the first two previews, it's going to be a recurring theme. You have to look at the schedule. While I think the Miami Dolphins may be a better team personnel-wise than this Patriots team overall, the Patriots have what? They have a much easier schedule than the Dolphins, at least the way that it's set up. And I'm going to tell you why. We're going to go in the easiest part first. Weeks 5 through 12, the Patriots play Detroit, at Cleveland, Chicago, at the Jets, in Indianapolis before their bye week. Then they're home for the Jets, and they're on the road at Minnesota. Can they go 6-1 there? They might have to if they're going to be one of the top-notch teams. If they're going to win this division, they probably do have to go 6-1 here. Even if they're going to make it back to the playoffs, this is where they have to make their run. The toughest part of their schedule is easy. It's from December 1st through the end of the season. The final 6-game stretch starts and ends with the Super Bowl favorite and AFC East rival Buffalo Bills. They could be rolling by December because we talked about in the Bills how they have an easy stretch of the easiest stretch of their schedule starts with the Thanksgiving game on November the 24th. Then they have 10 days off. So they're going to have an interesting stretch. There are also back-to-back road games at Arizona and at Vegas. So they got to travel all the way across the country 2 weeks in a row. No one Bill Belichick, they'll stay out there. But still, at Arizona, at Vegas, you're talking about a Vegas team that I'm going to give you a little sneak preview. They're going to be much improved. And all this coming around Christmas time. Interesting back end of the stretch. So we come down, we look at their over-under win total, and it's set at 8.5. I got to be honest. Here's where I think there's value. This is a division that doesn't have a lot of value with over or unders. To me, the Patriots had the biggest value with their over. 8.5. I don't see how this team doesn't have a winning season. With this schedule, with this coach, with this quarterback that's going to be improved, with Devante Parker, with all the things that we talked about, this is a team that's going over. It's my biggest value. I know it cost $130 to win 100, but I think they are a fantastic value. And I got to be honest, even at plus 4,000, I like their chances to win. I might put a little bit on the Patriots to win Super Bowl 57. Do I think it's going to happen? No. But at 40-1, I think they're an excellent value there. This is going to be a play that I certainly make. New England Patriots over 8.5 wins. Let's see what our expert has to say about that. Here with our daily segment, Adam Chernoff of Covers.com, NFL, telling me whether I'm right, whether I'm wrong, or whether there's just no value here in our NFL team previews. Adam, New England Patriots. I think this is the best value in the division. I love the over, 8.5. I don't understand this number at all. New England's in Miami have the same number. New England's schedule is much easier. I think New England's a better team. I think they're going to take another step forward, whether that means moving to the divisional round or how far they go. Quarterback Mac Jones doing a great job. I love the over on the New England Patriots.
Not as bullish on you on the win total. However, the caveat there is probably a better look for New England in some of the bigger future markets, in my opinion, Super Bowl conference, things like that. A lot of variance with this team. You take Josh McDaniels out of the equation, and we don't really know what this offense is ultimately going to look like. They were very run-heavy last year. Defenses then forced Mac to win games on his own. But now it's not really certain what it's ultimately going to look like. They still haven't even officially named coordinators yet at the time of recording here. And so you know what comes with playing in the AFC East. You know what comes with playing in the AFC this year, and that's really tough competition. And this schedule, difficulty-wise, above average compared to last year, one of the easiest the Patriots faced in terms of schedule. So a lot of unknown, a lot of uncertainties. I think this team has the potential to be really good. That's why I think there's maybe a little bit more advantage with the bigger future markets. But from a win total market, not really taking a stance here personally, one side or the other.
Adam Chernoff, Covers.com. We'll talk to you tomorrow when we talk about the New York Jets.
Hey now.